very light video, hopefully. I'm actually reading a book, a biography of Jürgen Habermas, the German philosopher and sociologist, by Stephen Muller-Boom. The book is actually was published in 2014, 2014 in Germany, in German language. And German edition, Jürgen Habermas eine Biografie, Schurkan Verlag, Berlin, 2014. And its English translation is the one I have, is published by Polity in 2016. I'm not sure whether I read it before, but somehow I thought that I had read this book before, but I've been reading it for a couple of weeks, and it's a very good biography of Habermas, and it includes, discussion of his work as well. So it's a combination of life and intellectual biography. Anyway, so there's something at the end which is pretty interesting I wanted to share with you guys, and wanted to sort of comment on it, just to see what my reaction would be in real time. The purpose is not to evaluate Habermas's responses or anything. So these are 7 questions sent to Habermas in 2006. These are 7 questions sent to Habermas in 2006. How come? So these are questions at the end of 2000, a letter from a school in Italy. A remote Italian community. The school arrived in Ringstrasse in Starnberg, that is in Munich, I think, where Habermas had a house at the time. The pupils asked Habermas to answer 7 questions, which they also wanted to put to the Pope. Okay, it would be interesting to see Popes. Which Pope was there? Maybe the German Pope was at the time. I'm not sure. So first we look at the question, and then we'll look at Habermas' responses, and try to see, how did he fare, in my opinion. So the first question is, what can we know of the other? What can we know of the other? I wonder which year level was this, or whether they had. These are really very good questions. What can we know of the other? And should we go look at the answer? Well, let's go through the questions first, and then one by one. What can we know of the other? When and how do we know that we have recognized the truth? So the second question is about the truth. When do we know that we have recognized the truth about something? And the third question is the only way to recognize the truth dialogue, or also there are other ways? Dialogue with whom? Obviously, they are asking all questions, having some idea of Habermas's work, because they're all questions which arise in the context of his work. Number 4, why do we want to gain knowledge? Why? And how do we tell that we are content with our knowledge? Nice questions. Number 5, do we have a reason for claiming that life is meaningful? Reason. Come on, Habermas. Do we have a reason for claiming that life is meaningful? Very difficult questions, but very good questions. How do we recognize the truth? Didn't they ask this before? Oh yeah, this is sort of related to number 3. So how do we recognize the truth? And this answer to 6 would depend at least partially on the answer to 3, so we'll try to combine that if possible. Number 7, last one, is the meaning of a dialogue with another person or persons the claim, I am the you that you make of me. I am the you that you make of me. Yeah, okay. Very, very good. Okay, so on January 2007, Habermas sent his answer. So when was the answer arrived? December 2006. January is within less than a month. He sent his answers, obviously. The first question is what we know of the other. So Habermas has answered it. Obviously, I'm not here to judge Habermas, but I'm just going to, and I'm not commenting on his answers in order to, evaluate his answers, but I'll just react what I feel, what my gut reaction is to those answers. So it's just a exercise for myself, really. And if you want to join within this exercise, so that could be. So that which the other, so what we can know of the other, that which the other, consciously or unconsciously, makes us understand about. That's all we can know him. Consciously, so He tells us what about him. So that's the obvious way. Unconsciously, through his gestures or through his conscious answers, we can glean unconsciously through his action. So, isn't there any other way of knowing about the person? No. Let's see. The knowing other person is very hard. Obviously, knowing the other person is very, very hard. Sorry. Now, there's no doubt about the fact that knowing the other is very difficult. In fact, knowing yourself is very difficult. I can't say that I know myself very well, and maybe you will know. You who observe me might know me better than me. So, my gut feeling is that, firstly, we can know about the other, what the other make us know about himself or herself consciously. Okay, but if we know about her through her unconscious responses, then those are not actually responses through which she wants us to know her. So it doesn't seem right to say that she makes herself known to us through her unconscious actions. But it seems to me like hard to believe, or seems to me implausible, that these are the only ways to know the other. Observing someone can be another way to know. I mean, we can't be sure, but some people are very good at knowing others, some are not. Some people have insight into other people they themselves might not have. And actually knowing other people is very difficult. But there are people who know other people better than can know about other people through observing them. Just take this biography of Habermas we are reading, biography of Stephen Doom, and he's able to find things about Habermas. From some of them probably he didn't want us to know. So by analyzing someone's life, analyzing somebody's actions, deeply, we might be able to know some things about the other person which other person doesn't want us to know, neither consciously nor unconsciously. And then, more controversial ways, like loving someone, is a way of knowing the other. But that's a bit more deeper and trans-analytical way. So I won't go into that. But loving someone is a way of knowing someone as well, and you might be able to know someone through loving them in a way which is, deeper than what you can glean from, other methods. So I thought this was a pretty ordinary answer. And the second question is, when do we know and how do we know that we have recognized the truth? And Habermas' answer is the human mind can always err. That's not a news. Everybody knows that. So how is that the answer to when do we know that we have recognized the truth about something? Well, in different disciplines, there are methods of knowing that. And also, I think in everyday life, there are ways we know that, through which we can know that we have recognized the truth. But recognizing the truth doesn't mean that we can't be in error. Recognizing the truth means it is our judgment that we have recognized the truth. And human judgments are fallible and defeasible. So that's a very, very ordinary answer, I thought, the second one. Now, the third question is the only way to recognize the truth dialogue, or are there also other ways to recognize what is true? Now, mind you, they're asking about recognition, not testing. Okay. And Habermas' answer is, if you want to understand the truth, understand about the truth, or about what we take to be the truth, understanding. So what he means is testing, really. We should rely on the discursive dialogue way of gaining knowledge. Gaining knowledge or testing knowledge, they're two different things. That we should give good reason, yes. We should give good reason for our claims. And obviously we should listen to other people's objections and their reasons. And that will test our claims. And obviously our reasons are based on knowledge we have as well. which we might and might not have gained through dialogue. So I think it's in line with his own theory, but I thought he should have said that dialogue is the only way to test the truth of our, or one of the main way to test the truth of our claims. But saying that it is the only way to recognize the truth or understand the truth or gain the knowledge, that's a bit going overboard, I think. Because Habermas himself recognizes non-dialogical ways of gaining knowledge, especially at the level of our interaction with nature, unless he thinks that that is a dialogue with nature as well. So, but this is okay answer, I think. Okay. The next question is, why do we want to gain knowledge? How do we tell that we are content with our knowledge? So this is number 4. We can never be satisfied with what we know or think we know. But this is just a half answer. How do we tell that we are content? We are content, but why do we want to gain knowledge? He didn't answer that. That would have been interesting. So we can never be satisfied with what we know because we know very little. As Arab saying goes, فَوْقَ كُلِّ ذِي عِلْمٍ عَلِيمٍ. So that's why we're never satisfied, because we know so little. But he didn't answer the first part. Why do we want to gain knowledge? That is pity. So this is a very ordinary answer, because this is only half the answer. Okay, number 5th. Fifth question is throughout. Oh, it's the question. Number 5th. Do we have a reason for claiming that life is meaningful? Do we have a reason for claiming that life is meaningful? Habermas' answer is that throughout the history of mankind, many reasons have been presented in order to show that our life and the life of all human beings is meaningful. What else is there to do but examine these reasons one by one? Well, come up with more reasons, some new reasons. And he doesn't answer this either. Because what they're asking is, do we have reason for claiming that? He didn't answer this as well. Wow. Number 6. What is number 6? The truth does. Oh, what's the question? Do we recognize the truth? So that's related to what the second one. When and how do we know that we have recognized the truth? And he basically said that we can only know through dialogue. So this question is there any other way? Number 6. How do we recognize the truth? The truth doesn't exist in the singular. That's not the question. Like, how do we recognize the truth about something? If we are lucky, we find some knowledge about which we can be reasonably certain. That doesn't answer the question either. How do we recognize the truth? We should have, according to him, we test our reasons in a dialogue, and if they pass the test, we recognize the truth, at least for time being. So this is very bad answer either. Doesn't answer. And last one, number 7. Is the meaning of dialogue with another person or person the claim, I am the you that you make of me. I am the you that you make of me. In dialogue between two human beings, this statement makes sense only if one can say it about the other just as much as the others can say it about the one. Okay, is the meaning of dialogue with another person or person the claim, I am the you that you make of me. Well, dialogue is the meaning of dialogue with the other person. For me, for example, would be to basically a dialogue with the other is to confront or test myself against the other and the reason of the other, and maybe through that experience actually transform myself. So is the meaning of the dialogue with a person or person the claim, I am the you that you make of me? Not really. I'm the one which, you and me, we all make of each other. But, myself, I can't be reduced to what other make of me or want to make of me. Because there is always self-transcendence. Anyway, this wasn't a very good answer either. So anyway, was a good one. I thought the questions were better than the answers. But that's a humbling experience. Okay, thank you.